What is up, guys? Welcome back to another trophy list review, and today we have got Fluffy Walrus 6 and quite a special trophy list in store for you today. So Fluffy has got well over 6,000 trophies, 123 platinums, very nice, 494 gold, 1,401 silvers, 4,334 bronze trophies. 181 games played, 91 completed games, giving him a 70% completion percentage, earning 4.03 trophies per day. Very, very impressive number. And they're in the top 9,000 in the UK, so well ahead of me. Maybe one day I can catch up. So a few stats. We got 123 plats, 18 of which are ultra rare platinums. Again, very, very impressive number. And in terms of kind of different game series, we've got 5 Far Cry Platinums, 4 Assassin's Creed Platinums, 7 Resident Evil Platinums, very nice, 3 Wolfenstein Platinums, and a whopping 12 Call of Duty Platinums. That is mental. So let's go down to the bottom of this list and inspect it. So this account begins in 2020, which is, again, very like in just over 3 years. That is a lot of platinums. So a nice beginning to the trophy list, I think, with these first 3 games. This is great. Ratchet and Clank, Spyro the Dragon, and Marvel's Spider-Man. Very, very nicely done. All done in the summer of 2020, when there wasn't much else to do, to be fair. And then there's Until Dawn, which I saw a rumor recently that apparently it's being remade. I didn't know it needed to be remade or remastered. That's one that I definitely want to check out. And then back-to-back South Park games, The Stick of Truth and The Fractured Butthole. I normally see The Fractured Butthole on here on people's trophy list, but it's rare to see both done back-to-back. You must be a big South Park fan and enjoyed those. Then we go back to finish the Spyro trilogy, which is always good. I think every trophy hunter needs the Spyro trilogy in their account. I just think it's a great trilogy and really fun platinums. And then this is very rare, Mad Max Platinum. So achieved in 2020, rating 5 out of 10, 55 hours to get the platinum. And the reason it's rare, obviously, is because it has one unobtainable trophy, which is a online related trophy, which is really frustrating because this looks like a very good game and it comes on sale quite often on the PS Store. But I haven't played it. I really wanted to get the platinum on it, but obviously you can't. And loads of people online go on about I think it's Warner Brothers asking them to patch out the trophy, but no, nothing happens. So yeah, very nice. Very nice. You are one of the rare people to have that platinum. And then on to a couple of PlayStation first party classics, Horizon Zero Dawn, which is, same with me. It took me a year to do it as well. I started it and then had to go back to it, but it's a good game. It's a really good game. Very good open world game. Then on to God of War 2018, another classic, very special game, done in 2 months and a week. And then the first of your many Far Cry Platinums, Far Cry 3, a lot of people's favorite of like the modern Far Cry era. It's a good game and fun platinum. Can be done quite quickly. No online multiplayer trophies, at least on the PS4 version from what I remember. And then on to a banger of a game, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This is one of my first platinums, and very good game. Perfect game, I think, for trophy beginners. Just gives you a bit of everything: combat trophies, collectibles, annoying collectibles, skill upgrades, story trophies, miscellaneous. Kind of collect everything, scan every enemy. It's a good kind of it's a good game to train on to become a trophy Jedi. See what I did there? And then I think it's the first Resident Evil game on this list that we've seen so far, and it is Resi 3. which is obviously the remake that came out probably 2020, actually, that year. This is a good one. Out of the ones I've played 5 Resident Evils, and I love the series. It's my least favorite, but that doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's a very good game. And it's a good platinum to do. It takes about 20-25 hours. And a good challenge. The final boss on the hardest difficulty is tough. Much tougher than you think going into it. But yeah, it's a very good game. And then Control. Yeah, I tried Control. I couldn't get into it. I had no idea what was going on. And I think I struggled with the controls possibly. And yeah, just the lack of knowing what was going on. Too much happening. But everyone who platinums it, loves it, swears by it. So yeah, kudos to you. It's a really good platinum to have, and quite a tricky one from what I remember. You got to basically do 100% the game and clear up everything. And then what looks like to me a difficult platinum, it's rated a 4 out of 10, 25 hours, but this to me looks quite tricky. Alien Isolation. It's a first person survival horror game where you are literally on the what's it called? Nostromo, I think, from the film. You're on the ship and the alien is hunting you down, and it can be quite random, kind of what rooms the alien appears in, etc. I think there's quite a few runs you have to do. You have to do one possibly where you don't kill anyone, one where I think you don't get spotted by the alien, if I remember correctly. But it's a game I have got on disc behind me, and I think it is available on PS Plus Extra. And one I'd like to do eventually, because I'm a huge fan of the original film, which, by the way, on a side note, if you haven't seen the original Alien, go and see it. It's amazing. Directed by Ridley Scott, one of my favorite directors. And then we start picking up on the Assassin's Creed games. So we got Assassin's Creed 2, which I think is like the beloved one of the series, the one everyone swears by. 3 out of 10, 20 hours, lots of collectibles. I believe this is the one with the eagle feathers, and look at that, done in 3 days. Nicely done. You must have really loved the game. And then Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, which is 6 out of 10, a bit surprising for an Assassin's Creed game. They're normally like 3, 4 out of 10. So this is obviously a much more trickier one. And again, done really quickly. 5 days, very nice. Concrete Genie, you beat me. I think I did it in 9 hours. We did it in 6.5. So very nice game. Concrete Genie is a nice game. As you can see here, it's a platinum you can get in 1 day if you know what you're doing. Maybe look up a guide here and there if you get a bit lost. But it's a really fun game, really visually interesting, and good use of the controller. So if you're looking for a nice indie game to play in between your big AAA ones, this is definitely it. And then we've got We Were Here, again, done really quickly, done in 1 day, basically. And then we've got Doom from 2016, which was the reboot. I really enjoyed this. Very, very fun platinum. I think you don't have to do the hardest difficulty, but you have to do level 1 on the hardest difficulty. But still done quite quickly. This is a very, very fun FPS game. And then on to Observer, which is not one I've heard of. Doesn't ring a bell. 3 out of 10, 10 hours. Yeah, it's definitely one I'm going to look into. And then Infamous Second Son, one of the PS4 launch titles, which if you play it now to this day, it still looks amazing. Done really quickly. Takes 2 playthroughs. One you have to do as good karma and then bad karma, and you have to do the hardest difficulty. A game I just couldn't get into. Maybe one day when I have time it's worth picking up again, because I popped a few trophies, but I just for some reason could not get into it. But it's a really good superhero game. Speaking of which, then we've got Spider-Man Miles Morales on the PS5. A very popular game, a game I have not played or platinumed. I've only platinumed the first Spider-Man, but I do know you have to play it twice to get to level 50, I believe. So it is a bit of a tiny grind at the end. And then Wreckfest. This came available on PS Plus, and I did consider this, but it's got a lot of multiplayer trophies, but it does look very fun. I think you can boost the multiplayer trophies if you find a partner. But yeah, that's a very good one. That's a good one to have. Nice bit of variety in the trophy list. Then on to another one that I've done, which is A Plague Tale Innocence. This is a good game. And Plague Tale Requiem came available in January this year, I believe, last month on PS Plus. That's what I'm definitely going to do. Yeah, this is a good game. One playthrough, one and a bit playthrough. You have to do some extra chapters to upgrade everything, which can be a bit confusing, but it's worth it. It's a really well told story, good graphics, good gameplay, quite kind of, I'd say quite unique actually. It kind of stands on its own. It's a really good game. I look forward to playing the sequel. Then we got Battlefield 1, nicely done. Again, very quick, 3 days, 10 hours. Fluffy Walrus does not hang about. Onto Darksiders, again done in 1 week. It's a 30-hour game, 4 out of 10. But done very, very quickly. Nickelodeon Kart Racers, I did see this. And I think I saw it on PS Plus maybe. And I grew up playing Mario Kart like most of us, so I wouldn't mind doing this actually. And the fact that you've done it in 2 days kind of really appeals to me. 3 out of 10, 20 hours. And it does look pretty cool. It's a nice logo. And then Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep. I didn't know about this game until recently because I knew about the sequel that's now, I believe, become available on PS Plus Extra. I think Wonderland, and I'm considering downloading it, even though it's a long platinum. But I didn't know there was a first one from the Borderlands universe. 3 out of 10, 25 hours, much shorter than the sequel, but again, done really quick. Here's a game I've not heard of. One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows. What a title. 2 out of 10, 25 hours. Definitely going on my list of games to research. Great. Looks like a movie as well, the logo. And then you did the Infamous sequel, which I believe is the last Infamous game to come out. Infamous First Light, which is kind of like a spin-off. 4 out of 10, 20 hours. I know there's a big grind at the end of the game. You're in an arena and you got to fight a lot of bad guys and do certain combos, etc. So that's quite a tough end to the game, but again, done really quick. Then on to one of my favorite games and one of my favorite platinums, definitely of last year, Resident Evil 2 Remake. 5 out of 10, 30 hours. I need to check my time because I swear I did mine in 2 weeks and 6 days. Yeah, absolute banger of a game. This game takes 6 playthroughs. You can make it shorter. Like if you knew what you were doing, you could make it like 4 playthroughs, but it'd be a bit tough. You could combine certain things like you can do in Resident Evil, combine certain playthroughs, but it's worth doing it for 6 because there's 4 different versions of the game anyway. There's 2 main characters and they both have an A and B version of the story. Yeah, I highly recommend playing this game. This was a game that, if anyone's worried about the platinum of this was a game that I started off playing not intending to platinum. I thought it'd be super hard, way too difficult for me and way too complicated, but after 2 playthroughs, I was really up for it. I kind of figured out the game, started to learn where items are, and just, yeah, really cracked on and got the platinum. So definitely try it, guys, if you're considering it. And then Among Us, 3 out of 10, 10 hours. And then on to another absolute banger, Uncharted Drake's Fortune Remastered, which today I was reading, there's more rumors of it being remade, which should be kind of interesting. I'd probably get that and play that, to be fair, if it was remade. If it looked like Uncharted 4, then definitely. But this is another one, 2 playthroughs. You have to do the game on crushing mode, which can be frustrating. I think it deserves more than a 3 out of 10. I think it's at least a 4 out of 10 because crushing mode is like 2 shots, you're dead. Like you can just go into a fight and yeah, you die immediately. But it's definitely worth it. And there's only about 60 odd collectibles, so it's not too bad. And then I think the first Call of Duty game on the list so far, but we're about to enter a Call of Duty season. Call of Duty World War II, 6 out of 10, 70 hours, 1 week, 1 day. Unbelievable. Very, very impressive. Assassin's Creed Liberation. I've got this on the Vita. I'm really not sure if I should do it or not. This is the PS4 remastered version. Again, done in 5 days, less than a week. 3 out of 10, 15 hours. You have to play as 3 different characters. Yeah, I've got it on the Vita and I'm just not sure. I'm not sure if I should tackle it. And then look at this, 4 in a row. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. 5 out of 10, 20 hours. Done the day. Just done. No problem. Easy. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered. 4 out of 10, 25 hours. Done in a day. You are clearly very good at Call of Duty games and first-person shooters, as we will see later. Hint, hint. And then we've got Call of Duty Ghosts, done in 2 days, 8 hours. I didn't even know that was possible. 30 hours, 4 out of 10. So that's what? 3, 5, 7. Yeah, in the space of about 10 days, you did 4 Call of Duties. Which equate to about 95 hours according to the guides. And we all know, the guides don't always get it right. It's normally more hours than expected. But yeah, Advanced Warfare, 4 out of 10, 20 hours, done in 3 days. Yeah, very, very impressive. Then after all that intense Call of Duty action, my man took a little break out and played the Town of Light for 3 hours, 45 minutes. Going on my list to look into. I've not heard of this one, but if it's a nice side indie game, then definitely I'm gonna look into that. And then on to another Call of Duty, the only Call of Duty I have on my trophy list. If any of you are out there and you're average like me and you want a Call of Duty Platinum, this is the one, 100%. It's 10 hours, 3 out of 10. All you gotta do is play the campaign on veteran mode. I think I did it twice. I think I played it on normal, then I played it on veteran. But very fun, a very fun playthrough, a good campaign. I don't play all the Call of Duty campaigns, but from my standard, it was pretty good. But again, done really, really quick. And then I'm intrigued by this platinum because my wife plays this game a lot. 3 out of 10, 30 hours. The Sims 4, done in 3 hours, 16 minutes. I don't know what sorcery this is, because it takes my wife about 3 hours just to start up a family or build up a house. But yeah, that's interesting. You must know things about this game that others don't. But yeah, it's very rare to see a Sims Platinum on these trophy lists. So yeah, nicely done. And then back to first-person shooters. Took a little break off with The Sims. And we got Crysis, which I have done as well. 1 week, 4 hours. 3 out of 10, 10 hours. I think you have to play this on the hardest difficulty. It's good. I got a bit frustrated with it. I think probably it just, you know what, it probably felt a bit dated to me. I think that's what it was. And I remember kind of when I was growing up, it was a hyped up game when it first launched. It was like the game to have on PC and stuff, but I just wasn't that impressed. But if I can get access to Crysis 2 maybe for free, I might try it again. Because you did that quicker than the first one, but I'm not sure how long that should take. And then this one, Titanfall 2. This is a game I started years ago, and I know you're a good player because you did this in 1 day and 7 hours. So for some of you that don't know, Titanfall 2 is 6 out of 10, 17 hours. 3 multiplayer trophies, and the multiplayer is still quite populated and busy and popular. You can get the multiplayer trophies easily. I've done them. And you have to play the campaign on the hardest difficulty. But the problem with this platinum, and the reason it's 6 out of 10, is there is 1 bronze trophy, because at the beginning of the game, you go through a training gauntlet, which is no enemies. There's like 12 dolls that stand still. And you have to wall run through this training gauntlet, shoot the enemies, jump down, shoot more enemies, jump on the wall, do wall running, all kinds of things. And you have to do it in like 33 seconds. And it is so difficult. It's pretty much the trophy that stops most people getting the platinum. I'm halfway through the game and I stopped playing because I realized I don't want to do all the trophies and have that one bronze left. So I kind of made a plan at the time of trying to get that gauntlet bronze trophy, but obviously since then I haven't played it in a while. So Fluffy, if you have any tips, any advice, please let us know, because obviously it was not an issue for you that you did this in 2 days. That's very impressive. There's some impressive platinums on this list, and we're coming up to one in particular, but that stands out to me. Then we've got Martha is Dead, done in the background over 2 months and 3 weeks. Nicely done. Then we've got Arcade Game Series Pac-Man. I bought this for like £1.15 on the PS Store when it was on sale, and I love how it says 3 hours when it clearly is not 3 hours. Took you half a day. The next one, Mrs. Pac-Man, is 2 hours, and again took you half a day. I've played like level 1 or 2, and yeah, this isn't. I don't think you can get this in 3 hours, but maybe the guides know something that I don't. And then we've got Jedi Fallen Order again on the PS5. And then we enter the Wolfenstein back to back, and again done very quickly. So Wolfenstein: The New Order, I've got this platinum. It's a really good platinum. Kind of just everything: collectibles, combat trophies, perk upgrades, hardest difficulty, good engaging story. It's a good game. The Old Blood, again, you did this in 2 days and 9 hours. So The Old Blood is the prequel sequel and much shorter than The New Order. I'm going to say half the length maybe. And it's really interesting, really fun. I finished it on normal and hardest difficulty. I think I've got all the collectibles. I've got all the perk upgrades, I believe. The problem I have is there are 10 or 12 challenges they have in the game where they make you play through sections of the game again on the hardest difficulty, and you have to get a really stupid high score. And the only way to get this high score is you have to headshot every enemy, literally headshot every enemy. But you know, with the amount of enemies there are, they can like kill you within 4 or 5 shots. So it's very tough, and I don't think this is a 5 out of 10. I would say The Old Blood is harder than New Order. Yeah, really struggling with that. So any tips on that, Fluffy, I would appreciate. Another Nickelodeon Platinum, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, 2 out of 10, 11 hours. Again, one I'm going to definitely look into. 1 week and 16 hours. Nicely done. Little Nightmares 2, I have this platinum as well. This is a nice little game. 6 hours. Yeah, it is 6 hours. I did it in 1 day. I did it across a day with breaks. It's a 3 out of 10. It's very straightforward, visually very nice. I really like the graphics, and they had a certain style they went for, which I liked. I think there is a third one coming out. But yeah, very good game to do again in between the big ones. Call of Cthulhu. I don't know much about this game. I've seen it pop up now and again on trophy lists. That's one that you chipped away at for a bit. Then we've got our first Final Fantasy of the list, I believe. Final Fantasy 15. 80 hours, 3 out of 10. A time-consuming platinum that you chipped away at over 2 years, which is very nice to see. You know, you don't always have to get your platinums very quickly. You can just chip away at things, come back to them after a break. It's normally a good thing to do with certain platinums. Don't be afraid. And then Final Fantasy 12, again, chipped away at 40 hours. Then we've got the infamous Mafia, which we all know is 6 out of 10 because of one racing trophy. I love when it comes up on Reddit and seeing people rant about this one racing trophy. It's really funny. So well done on that. Back to Call of Duty, we got Vanguard, which is 5 out of 10, 50 hours. Again, done really quickly. Very impressive. We've got Mafia 2, which is 6 out of 10, 26 hours, done really quick. And then Dead Island, which is like nearly 10 years after it came out. 40 hours, 5 out of 10. Quite a lot of, I believe, quite a lot of co-op trophies in this. It's kind of what put me off, I think. There's quite a lot of co-op trophies. So again, yeah, nicely done to do this so quickly. Ducati 90th anniversary, a racing game. So really nice, lots of variety. 5 out of 10, but only 20 hours. Yeah, I'm always suspicious when it's very hard. High difficulty, but yet a small number of hours. Then we've got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Unsurprisingly done very quickly in a day, basically. Even though it's 5 out of 10 and 15 hours. Very nice. Ark Survival Evolved over the course of a year and a half. And Sonic Forces done over 6 months. Very nice. Platinums that you just kind of chipped away at in the background whilst getting all these. Ghostbusters Spirit Unleashed, a game you don't see very often. On the PS5 as well. That's one that I'm definitely going to look into. Then we've got Dirt 5, Battlefield Hardline. Nice, another Battlefield game. Babylon's 4. 2 days, 10 hours. Fallout 76, 100 hours. Online play, very nicely done. I think this is your 50th platinum. Resi Evil Village. I love this game. Platinumed it twice in the space of 6 months. That's how much I loved it. It's a very good game. Very, very, very good game. Very good Resident Evil game. Just, yeah, I really highly recommend it. And I highly recommend getting the DLC because you can play it third person as well. Black Clover. Then we got Astro's Playroom. Nice. You did a lot of PS5 platinums before you came to eventually do this. Normally people do it first when they get the PS5. And then you did Village close together, a bit like me. I did it about 6 months apart, but you popped the platinum a month apart. So yeah, you obviously liked it as much as I did. Resi 5 on the PS4, nicely done. Would love to know, did you do it solo? Did you do that co-op? Because I don't know, I'm not sure about doing it. I know it's gonna sound really dumb, but I tried playing it and it's one of those. I'm used to the remake Resident Evils where it's smooth and fluid, and in Resi 5 you have to stand still and shoot and then move and then stand still and shoot. I know it sounds really dumb, but it's the one thing that puts me off. And I do know it's also quite difficult. It's only 4 out of 10, but the hardest mode is pretty hard. Then we got a nice variety here. Plants vs Zombies, Minecraft, Far Cry Primal. Not my favorite Far Cry, but it's still good immersive game. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Siege 6, 70 hours, 6 out of 10, grindy platinum, so nicely done on that. Fallout 4, another big one, 70 hours, apparently due to be remastered of the PS5 this year at some stage. I'm kind of waiting for that because I do want to play it. Dying Light, 5 out of 10, 50 hours, nice parkour and melee, apocalyptic game. Then we got Resi 6, Resident Evil 6, a game I've got on disc as well as 5. And again, I want to do, but it just looks a bit convoluted. 4 out of 10, 60 hours, 4 main characters, I think, 4 different stories to play. It doesn't get the best reviews, a lot of QTE as well. But I do want to get as many Resident Evil Platinums as I can, so I do want to do it. Would love to know how hard it was. Borderlands, the pre-sequel. We got Darksiders 2. And we got quite a few Borderlands games. I should have mentioned this at the beginning, actually. Quite a few. We got the whole trilogy here back to back. So Borderlands 1 and 2 and 3 worked on over the past year and 10 months. And popped them all in June. Very nice. All quite long platinums that you can do co-op or single player. Then on to a juicy one here. GTA 5 on the PS5, no less as well, the latest version of GTA 5, done across 9 months and 5 days. So whilst you're working on the Borderlands trilogy as well, that's a very impressive platinum. GTA 5, just, you know, getting to the highest level online, doing everything that needs to be done in the single player. If you guys have tried to platinum a Rockstar game, you know what a absolute task it is. There's so much you have to do. It's crazy. And then we've got Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which was the game I was originally talking about. So this is one that came out the last 18 months and now available on PS Plus Extra. 4 out of 10, 65 hours. Does look very fun though, very fun and crazy. Then we've got Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I think this might have been your 100th platinum. 7 out of 10, 70 hours. Pretty epic COD. Took your time over it, 1 year and 3 months. There's quite a lot to do in Black Ops Cold War, and their single player campaign, multiplayer zombies is quite an impressive platinum. There's a lot to do. GTA Vice City chipped away out over 1 year and 2 months. Very nice. Overwatch 2, don't see that very often. 7 out of 10, 100 hours. And then another beast of a Call of Duty game, COD Black Ops 3, 8 out of 10, 100 hours. That's enough numbers there to put me off. Again, chipped away out in 1 year and 4 months. That's very, very nice. One of your ultra rare platinums. Then we've got Marvel's Avengers. I don't see that quite often on this. I know this game gets a lot of, not a lot of love. I'm not sure why. I've never played it, but I've just not always heard great things about it. Very grindy, 80 hours. Not too difficult, but still very, very grindy. And then Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, 7 out of 10, 70 hours. This is one you don't see very often. Done in 3 months. Very, very nice. Valkyrie Elysium. And then another Battlefield game. Battlefield 5, chipped away at over 2.5 years. Then we got Far Cry 4, which is 1 year and 8 months. I've got this as well. Got a few multiplayer trophies, and overall, yeah, pretty straightforward. Assassin's Creed Unity, 4 out of 10, 50 hours, chipped away at over 1 year. Yeah, nice to see all these that you've kind of just chipped away at back to back. It's a nice mix of getting games done very quickly within days or a week, and then some that you just chipped away at non-stop. Really, really good. First Class Trouble, I've not heard of this one. That's one I'm going to look into. 4 out of 10, 15 hours. Back for Blood, look at these numbers. 9 out of 10, 100 hours. This is a grind. This is a total slog. Platinumed in 9 months and 12 hours. Very, yeah. Lots of resilience there to stick to that and get that done. And then speaking of resilience, we're coming up to a very special platinum. So we got Goat Simulator, and then we got my first ever Resident Evil platinum, which was Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, the first person one, kind of the reboot of the series with a new character. 5 out of 10, 25 hours, 3 playthroughs. Kind of a good entry level Resident Evil game, actually. I mean, it was my first Resident Evil platinum, and I'm a very average trophy hunter, and it's a good one to enter into the series. Then onto this bad boy. Look at this. Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, done in 1 year and 4 months. 10 out of 10 difficulty, 50 hours. If you don't know why, you should know why. But if you don't know, Wolfenstein 2, you have to play through the game like normal, finish the game, get all the collectibles, upgrade your perks. That's the same in all the Wolfenstein games. But for this one, there is one bronze trophy called Mein Leben, which translates to my life, I believe. You have to play the game on the hardest difficulty with no saves, and if you die, you go back to the beginning. So you have to play it in one sitting. I mean, you can obviously pause the game and go back, but I don't know why you do that. You'd lose momentum. But you have to play it in one sitting, and this is tough. My boy Platinum Vault has done this and has provided a guide on it, which you should definitely check out on his channel. And this impresses me a lot. It's a game I would like to attempt one day just to see how hard it is. I love watching YouTube playthroughs of people doing Mein Leben. I kid you not. I just find it as a good way of relaxing. So well done, Fluffy Walrus, for getting this, because that's a mental platinum. Then we got Tom Clancy's The Division, which is nice to see. The one set in New York. 1 year, 3 months, 5 out of 10, 60 hours. Only done not too far away from, only a few months ago. I did The Division 2 this month. It's my only platinum so far this year, and I really loved it. And I need to look into the Division trophy list, see how heavy it is in terms of multiplayer. But I love the Division games. They're really good. Really good. You get a lot of value for your money. There's a lot of content in the game to do. Then on to another mental platinum. Aliens Fireteam Elite, 9 out of 10, 100 hours. This game is intense. I believe there's about 12 to 14 levels. You have to play each one again and again on the hardest difficulties, all the difficulties. It's a team of 3. You can play it co-op, which I think is recommended, you and 2 mates, because then you can all take on different roles and do different functions. But yeah, this looks like a mental game. I would be up for trying this one day because I love the whole Aliens universe I mentioned earlier. So yeah, well done on this because it's another standout platinum. Then we got a very, very rare one that we don't see very often. Resident Evil Resistance, 1 week, 6 days. It intrigues me. 1 week, 6 days intrigues me. 8 out of 10 difficulty, 40 hours. It's all multiplayer. The fact that you did it in 2 weeks intrigues me if it's doable or not. I've always just avoided it. I kind of stick to the single player Resident Evil games, but that does, yeah, it really does intrigue me into kind of looking into it a bit more. Maybe it can be one I chip away at in the background. Then Rust, another very, very difficult online platinum. 8 out of 10, 70 hours. Completion of the trilogy, Crisis 3. And then we've got a couple of new games that I've launched recently. Payday 3, which looks like an awesome game to play with your mates. Done over 1 month and 1 week. And then possibly the most popular platinum of last year, maybe. Spider-Man 2, done over 2 days and 1 hour, which is pretty quick because there's a lot of content to do. There's a lot of side missions and, you know, going around clearing up the districts and stuff. But yeah, it's a really good game. Really, really good game. And then we've got my favorite Far Cry game, Far Cry 5. I love this game so much. I think it's quite underrated, actually. Yeah, Far Cry 5, really good game. A few multiplayer trophies, but a really great single player campaign with a great story, a great villain, everything you want from Far Cry. Good location. Yeah, love it. Then we got Final Fantasy 16, done over 5 months and 2 weeks, pretty quickly, bearing in mind what a grind these games can be. And then the sequel to Far Cry 5, which is Far Cry New Dawn. It's a spin-off, but it's technically a sequel. Probably the hardest Far Cry as well, because it has the, I forget what you call them, they're not challenges, expeditions. There's like 8 expeditions you have to do, the hardest difficulty, but very achievable. And yeah, done in a week and a day. Same here, I did mine pretty quick as well, but it's a good game. Final Fantasy, the original, 3 out of 10, 15 hours, chipped away at over the course of 8 months whilst you were doing God of War Ragnarok. Very nice. The sequel to 2018. A game I still need to play. I haven't played it yet. And then one of my favorite co-op games, It Takes Two. This is brilliant. Highly recommend this to people. If you can find someone to partner up with, you can platinum this in about a week. I've done it twice now. I love it that much. I've done it on the PS5 and the PS4. Then we've got Final Fantasy VII, the remake, which was huge. Came out, I think, two years ago. No, obviously 3 years ago, because he did it 3 years and 5 months. 5 out of 10, 60 hours. And then another COD banger before we go. Call of Duty Black Ops 4. 2.5 years. 7 out of 10, 150 hours. Unbelievable. Dead by Daylight, another big grind, 150 hours, 6 out of 10. Very, very impressive. Then you loved Final Fantasy VII Remake so much. You did it on the PS5 again. Nice to see. It's always nice, I think, when I see people platinum a game twice on the PS4 and the PS5 because they loved it that much. I think it's a nice sign. And then we come to the end of a very impressive trophy list by Fluffy Walrus. Dude, thank you so much for submitting your trophy list for me to review, and thank you for being patient and waiting. I'm very, very impressed, and I have to say quite inspired. I'm inspired to try Titanfall 2 again. I'm really eager to try Wolfenstein 2. I think that's a very impressive platinum. All the CODs, unbelievable, especially how quick you get them done. Yeah, and Resident Evil Resistance, I think you're the first trophy list I reviewed that has that game on it. So very nice. And of course, you've obviously got Mad Max, which is very rare. But yeah, dude, a very, very impressive trophy list. I think everyone will agree in the comments. Very nicely done. And yeah, any tips on Titanfall 2, please let us know. Would love some tips. But yeah, absolutely very impressive. And keep on going strong. Let us know what's going to be your 150th platinum. If you plan on doing anything special, you're definitely going to get it this year, probably at the rate you get through games and how quick you can do difficult games. You'll probably get to 150 this year comfortably, I think. But yeah, thank you, Fluffy Walrus, for submitting a trophy list. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. And as always, see you in the next one, champs. Take care.